Hi everyone, welcome to the channel dedicated to sharing the profound insights and wisdom of Andromedan contactee Alex Collier. If you're new here, you're in for a journey that expands your mind and consciousness, bringing you closer to understanding the messages from the fifth density Andromedan extraterrestrials. For those returning, we're grateful for your continued support. Before we dive into today's enlightening content, we have a small favor to ask. If you find value in the knowledge shared in this video, please consider hitting that like button, subscribing to our channel, and clicking the bell icon so you never miss an update. Your engagement helps us amplify Alex Collier's message, allowing us to reach a larger audience with these vital messages. We'd also love to hear from you, so please engage with the comments below. Whether it's a question, your thoughts, or even just an emoji for the sake of engagement, every comment counts. We read every single comment, and your feedback is incredibly valuable to us, as it all contributes to our mission of expanding this community. So please don't hesitate to leave your thoughts below. Additionally, if you'd like to support us further, consider giving a super thanks tip by clicking the heart with the $sign. This small gesture allows us to continue bringing you more of Alex's messages, unfiltered and directly from his lifelong experiences with the Andromedans. Today's video includes a compilation of several of the many important questions Alex Collier has received over the past few years, so please sit back, relax, and enjoy today's video.
And people of the upper fifth and beyond have manufacturing facilities, electronic equipment. What about larger things such as biospheres, the principal methods of manufacture and construction?
I'm sorry, I didn't get any of that. Can you do that one more time?
I'm sorry, did I say, was it garbled? Do the Andromedans and people from the upper fifth and beyond have manufacturing facilities in order to create, let's say, electronic equipment, things, stuff, phasers. What about things like biospheres and ships? I know you talked about hollowing out asteroids and stuff like that, but how do they build big ships? How do they build their ships?
Yes, they manufacture. What they do is they grow the metals. They're very different specific types of alloys, which are primarily all organic. Now, what's interesting about, oh God, this was such a great question. Who asked this question?
Nicholas Fowler.
Okay, well, whoever it was that asked this question, that's a great question. The answer is yes, they do manufacture. On the mothership, they had areas where there were machinery that would holographically grow metals, material, to repair craft, ships, things of that nature. Now, what's interesting about the metals is in how they're powered and the circuitry. It's all organic, living. And I'm not sure that I can even explain it because the language and the verbiage doesn't exist here. But let me explain it to you this way. I watched them build something, and they were spraying it with some type of a material, of a liquid. And I asked him, what is it that you're spraying on this? Because as it was hitting the metal, it would seep into the metal and it would change the color a little bit. And then there would be this flash like this. And then the metal would return to its original form. And I witnessed this. This is when I was on the mothership. And he explained to me that the liquid would be equivalent to chloroform here on Earth. Or chlorophyll. I'm sorry, not chloroform, chlorophyll. What am I thinking? to chlorophyll, what plants, produce and to use to capture light, etc. Because in their dimension, the light is different than it is here. This particular chlorophyll would absorb ultraviolet light in fifth density and would power all of their machinery. Okay, the circuit boards and everything. That is not the propulsion system. They would use chlorophyll. This type of chlorophyll would be bond into the metal, the material that they just made, this organic material, and it would absorb ultraviolet light, infrared light, and they would use it for power. And that was how their electrical systems worked. So no matter where they were, if they were near a star, they were good to go. They were good to go. Great question. See, that's why I like the Q&As, because it makes me think of stuff. So yeah, I mean, imagine if we had something like that here. If you could make an electric car that the metal could absorb not only the light but infrared, you'd be good to go. You wouldn't have to charge it. You wouldn't have to go anywhere. Plug it in, you'd be good to go, because we're always being bombarded by infrared light. So yeah, that's great question. Great question.
What can we do that we aren't doing or aren't doing enough of to weaken the Cabal or their off-planet dictators? What is their kryptonite? Thank you, as always.
Well, thank you. That's a great question. The Cabal is going down anyway. They've had their run, and they're done. Okay, they had their run, and now they're done. Now, what that really means when the whole thing goes down is that there's going to be a period, I don't know how long. If I had to guess, I would say maybe 10 or 12 years. It could be shorter, where the way everything works now, it will not work that way. And there will be adjustments as to how everything works. Now, I don't necessarily think that, I think food, medical, those type of things will be there. Well, there will be huge changes on the medicals. But let's just say the food. More of us will be growing our own food. Communities will be growing their own food. Golf courses in many, many cities all over the world will be turned into community farms. And it's a perfect place to do it. Okay, you've got great soil. They'll probably need to be refertilized. You have the water systems already there to water the crops, and it's just a perfect place to do it. And they're usually in areas surrounded by communities. So golf courses will become community farms. Water systems. There will be purification systems coming out, desalinization plants will be built everywhere on the planet as soon as the plates stop moving and shifting. And there's going to be some change. I don't exactly know when it's going to start. In fact, I really thought it would have been done and over with by now. But we've been given more time to get our acts together. Those kind of things, there's going to be a transition. Do the best you can intuitively to prepare for that. make sure your pantry's filled with extra stuff. But more importantly, it's you. It's you. Find your center. Find that place in you that is so calm that you experience no fear. Because when you're calm, that frequency emanates to everyone around you. And wherever you have to go to find that, or whatever process you use, whether it's good music, playing music, meditating, going in nature, going on a hike, eating a great Italian meal, listening to Sinatra, whatever that takes, that's what you do. Okay? And you guard that place. You be that place. You walk in that place of absolute confidence and calmness. That's the biggest thing. Because when you're there, you're all powerful. You can physically manifest what you want. You can draw it to you. You will draw it to you. And you will draw other like-minded people to you. And the more of you there are focused on the same thing, the quicker and faster it happens. And it's incredibly empowering. And that's what we want to do. We want to empower each other through this period of transition and set the example for these younger generations who haven't got a clue. They just haven't, most of them don't have a clue. So, because they're too busy with their phones, you know, they don't look up. So that's what I would do. Thank you. Good question.
Frank Sinatra and Italian food. Sounds good to me.
I'm hungry.
Yeah, it makes you peckish, doesn't it? What is the position of the Draconians now? Are they facing a trial, or are they still able to re-energize to other locations?
I can only speak to those that are on the planet. They are running for their life. They have no backup. No one's coming to rescue them. They had an opportunity to leave and they refused to, or they chose not to. The ones that are left here now, and I don't get current stats about how many have been taken down in a month or what that is. At some point I will get a general overview of where things are at. And that's the only way I know how to put it, is a general overview. But they're all running for their life right now. And they're running inside the planet or hiding at different underground facilities, moving from one facility to another under the oceans. That's where they are right now. It's basically all over but the shouting for the most part. But what we're seeing on the surface with the collapse of our corrupt governments and soon to be the churches, that is a direct result of the fact that they're no longer being protected by the system that was put in place by the Matrix. They can't stand on their own. Okay, they were never meant to. They were always meant to be subservient to other powers, higher powers. Okay, they're not used to making their own decisions. They've always been told what to do, and by someone. And if you do this, you'll become wealthy in material terms. If you don't, we'll blackmail you, kill your family, or even you. You could just disappear. So there's been a lot of coercion at what we would consider the highest levels. They were never meant to be in charge, okay? They were meant to look like they were in charge, but they never were.
How close are we, Alex, to a planetary transition? Are there signs we should be recognizing and anything we should expect in the next year or so? And what is Morone saying to you on this?
Define planetary transition. There's many ways to take that. So I'm not sure what he means. What he means by the transition. Do you mean to a higher vibration? Do you mean a pole shift? Do you mean a transition?
I think he means to a higher dimension, yeah.
Huh? What's that?
I think he means to a higher density.
It's happening as we speak. It's happening as we speak. I mean, just look around you at how the old corrupt empire is falling apart. That's falling apart because of the higher vibration. All the dark secrets that are coming out, that's occurring because of the vibration. When you shine light on anything, you see more, and that's what's happening. I think what we're really, really kicking into gear is when humanity decides and makes the decision that we are going to participate in creating our own reality, because that's a self-empowering move. And the more you self-empower yourself, the more light you draw to you. It's a frequency thing. Energy flows where consciousness goes. That's how it works. It's very basic quantum mechanics. Okay? The more we focus on what we want, the faster it comes. And we all want better. We all want better vibrations. We all want joy. We all want love. We all want happiness. We basically all want those things. And as we begin to manifest that together, it will empower each one of us individually and our families as well to move forward. No one will have to be coerced. You will just want to do it because you feel it, you sense it, you know it, and you're seeing the results manifest right in front of you. There will not have to be any coercion, and that is self-empowerment. To unconditionally be responsible for oneself without being coerced by some higher authority. Wow. 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 To be totally self-confident and free. To unconditionally be responsible for oneself without being coerced to accept some higher authority. Wow.
Regarding being a trapped soul on Earth, being forced to reincarnate here, with the veil around the Earth being lifted, does this affect this trap? And, or do the current field of our galaxy that our solar system is passing through affect this reincarnation cycle trap?
Okay, great question. There is no more traps. Okay, we are free to leave. You're free to leave. Just know what you're doing. That's number one. Number two, as far as passing our solar system passing through the plasma field, it only heightens and intensifies the expansion of all things. It quickens. It quickens everything, which is why there is so much going on, and it seems like right now, There's just so much going on all the time. And that's because there is. The plasma field, which is essentially electric energy frequency, has lit up everything. And it's amplifying everything that we see, feel, touch, experience, desire, emotions on both extremes. I understand it's pretty amazing to watch, especially for those races who don't have our extreme of emotions, to watch us go through these extremes of emotions. Because for races that have never experienced the extreme of emotions that we do, they're in awe of how we can contain so much energy, because that's how they look at it, as energy. Emotion is energy. They're amazed at how much energy we all hold when we use our extreme of emotions. They're just a little bit, well, they just don't have the same type of experience we do. But they also know that whatever it is that they do experience of emotions, they realize that if it's anger, it's very, very destructive. And they know there's no benefit to that. So they focus their energy and their intention on creating with the energy, whatever that is. They make an intentional choice to use the energy in a positive manner. So that's what I know. I know the A's do that. They don't do the anger thing at all.
A buddy of mine wants to know, I'm asking for a friend, what explanation is there for the explosion of Christianity in the 1st century? Is this, and also why in the early days Christians were so persecuted, fed to lions, etc.? And, you know, they were very, what's the word? Zealous. You know, they're really into it. What was all that about?
Okay, let me see if I have the question. Don't hang up yet. What was the reason for the explosion of Christianity in the 1st century?
Yes.
And what was the second part of that?
And why were they persecuted?
And then why were they persecuted?
Yes.
Well, we were going to do this in the next one. We were going to do this very thing in the next webinar. The historical personage. And I don't want to get into this right now, but I'm gonna give you something to think about. Your friend Lauren. Who truly was Paul the Apostle, Saul of Tarsus? Who was he truly? Okay? Because in 2 weeks, we're going to talk about him. I'm not advertising it. I'm just saying it right now. It'll still say historical personage, but that's who we're going to talk about in the next webinar. Paul the Apostle, Saul of Tarsus. A very, very important, significant person in history who has not only been much aligned, but who has been completely misrepresented throughout history by the church itself. Now, as far as the persecution of Christians, you only persecute those who don't go along with your narrative, right? Otherwise, there's no reason to do it. Christianity, religion, until 365 AD. And so a Christian wasn't really defined until the Council of Nicaea. And that was by Constantine. Now, Constantine himself didn't become a Christian until he was on his deathbed to tell you everything. That is not to say that Christian principles aren't valid. They are. They're remarkable, and they are a clear guide to living a good life. But those principles have been around forever. They didn't start with the church or the seminary of Jesus. That's not where they started. Those principles have been around for a very, very long time. It's just that we don't know it because whatever contradicted the creation of Christianity as a state religion, those records, those books, those libraries were burnt to the ground. Because the church wanted absolute control and power. And guys, you don't have to take my word for it. All you got to do is research the history of the Catholic Church, the Vatican, Rome. Look for a book called The Vatican Empire. It's all its business dealings, all its banking connections. It was written in the 70s. Extraordinary. It is a corporation and a trust, long before it's a church. Make no mistake about it. It's been about business, and it's been business. It's just been hiding behind a prop, an altar. That's all it's doing. I mean, just, look at candles. And the worst of it isn't even come out yet. With the children, the kids. The worst doesn't even come out yet. The Inquisition. Oh my God. So there you go. So that's 2 weeks. Paul the Apostle. And we'll go from there. I think we have time for another couple questions, maybe? Unless everybody's hung up on me.
Oh, no. We're all here. If you want to go, I mean...
hey, listen, I know this is a very touchy subject with folks.
Sure.
Believe me, I know. And like I said, right off from the get-go, a lot of times when I asked a question, I didn't get an answer I liked. This is one of those. Okay, this is one of those times where I absolutely hated the answer I got from my questions. But would you rather not know, or would you rather know? So that you could investigate it for yourself, do the research, pray, meditate, whatever it is that you want to do. Now remember, this is not about being saved. Because if you completely believe that Jesus existed and that he is Christ, he did say, "These things I do, ye shall do greater, if ye have faith." That does not mean he's greater. It means we're equal. That means we have to raise our game to that level. That's the lesson. If he didn't, the premise of Christianity, the loving one another, forgiveness, those are all incredible moral attributes that every civilization should have and live by equally. So there's no real downside here except giving away our power to something or someone that may not be real or didn't ask for our power. Because that's what life's about. It's about acquiring knowledge and personal power. That's what it's about. That's the lesson of physicality. the shit kicked out of you. That's not it at all. Who the hell would come up with a plan like that? You know?
Thank you so much for watching today's video. If you found it insightful, please like the video, and if you haven't already, please subscribe to our channel and click the bell icon so you don't miss out on future updates. If you have any questions relating to today's video, please also leave them below. We read all the comments and take on board what our viewers have to say about Alex Collier's work. Remember, your support helps Alex Collier's knowledge and the messages from the Andromedans reach more people. If you'd like to support the channel even more, you can give us a super thanks tip by clicking the heart icon with a $sign. It really helps our team bring you more content. Also, be sure to visit alexcollier.org to sign up for our regular email newsletter. It's the best way to stay updated with the latest news, exclusive content, and upcoming live webinars. For the latest insights from Alex Collier, check out alexcollier.live. And if you want to explore over 250 past webinars, head over to alexcollier.tv. Thank you for being a part of this journey and supporting Alex Collier's work. We couldn't do this without you, and we're genuinely grateful for your support. Until next time, stay curious and keep exploring the vast mysteries of our universe. If you would like to see the Andromedan contactee Alex Collier live via video stream, we hold a live online seminar every Friday at 2 p.m. Eastern Time. For more information on upcoming live webinars, please visit alexcollier.org.